So I guess there's no option for zooming back in my app anymore. I don't know why. What's this? Show live video. Okay. Hello, everyone. I wanted to talk to you today about a topic quite controversial. I just want to get over this hurdle in my life because my life purpose involves bringing together an entire collective of people and keeping them safe. And in order to lead, in order to be known for something in this community, I am going to have to face some of my deepest fears. One of my deepest fears is sharing my testimony. I believe full-heartedly that I'm in a league all my own because I tend to believe that Lucifer, controversially, isn't at all what we think. So, I was raised Pentecostal. I was raised in a cult. My grandparents ran the church. And I couldn't stand it. I hated church. I hated what I was being shown. I was being shown a God that is so loud and speaking in tongues and stuff. I never understood it. I never understood why we would be so loud worshiping God, when instead the God that I would worship while they were dancing around with tambourines and yelling and foaming at the mouth, I would be secretly in my pew just quietly praying to God, quietly crying, and I was just worshiping a different God. And I remember just from a young age, the God that I would see in my head was just light. I would just see light. I didn't see what everybody else saw, I guess. I wasn't loud and I wasn't stomping around and throwing these flags and these, like, doing this thing where, like, they'd push you back and then you foam at the mouth. And then I didn't understand. I didn't understand. And so I didn't want to have any part of that church. And I started to be called the devil. I started to get called the devil and Satan's spawn and a Jezebel spirit and all this crazy shit. And that was when I was like in my teens. And so like 12 to 16 years old, maybe, I was asking all these questions. Like, is my grandma and grandpa, they ran the church, I was like, are they able to be compelled by the devil? Could they be wrong? Now, I wasn't allowed to ask this question at all, but I started to feel like maybe they're wrong. Maybe their God is the one that's wrong. And about 16 years old, I told my family I'm not going back to church, and I don't care what you do or what you say or how much you abuse me on my way out. I don't like it. And at first it was like, how dare you? Absolutely not. You're not going anywhere. And then I was like, okay, so this is getting a little tough, but I still stand on conviction. I knew at 16 years old even that something was wrong. And so I got out. I told my mom, like, I'm never going back. I don't care. And yeah, I left the church at 16 years old. And then I went from age 16 to about 21, 22-ish, church hopping. I would go from church to church with other friends once in a while. Like, I would say on average once a year, I would go to a church. And it was with my friends. They would be like, I would meet a friend at work or whatever, out and about. It was like, come to my church. I bet you anything, Jesus is different here. And so I would go and I would be like, okay, The people are different here, kinder, less frantic. They're not as scared. But yet, why am I having to believe what they say? Why can't I ask questions? And it was just this common theme of like, I had to see all these different denominations, and I know that that's because this is my life purpose. I know my life purpose. And the common theme in all of these churches was the same. It's like, do as I say, not as I do. And I just recall feeling like God isn't real. It's a joke. God is a joke. And so from 16 years old to about 22, I believed God was a joke. I really did. And then all of a sudden, one day at my job, this new girl shows up, and she's a witch. And she was very much like very independent, wealthy. She was my age. She was only like in her 20s. And she was already having so much abundance and independence that people were relying on her. She wasn't relying on the government. She wasn't relying on people. She wasn't relying on a community, a group, a church. I was nothing. And I was like, wait. Who are you? And as fate would have it, she was stuck with me 8 hours a day on third shift in a place where there was no activity. There's nothing. We were so bored all the time. Like, we would just twiddle our thumbs. We had nothing to do. So one day she tells this former Christian that I should learn how to meditate. She taught me a whole bunch of things. She was very much into divination. She taught me tarot, helped me with pendulums and divination and a Ouija board. We even did a seance in the graveyard once. That was fucking epic. Anyway, at first, I wasn't allowed to even talk to her. Why? Because of programming. Fear programming. Here I was, a grown-ass woman, 22 years old, paying my goddamn taxes. And I wasn't allowed to talk to this woman who was honestly quite entertaining and very enlightened. So she suggested that I get off of all my big pharmaceuticals that I was on. I was on antipsychotics. I was on antidepressants, anti-anxiety medications. And I was drinking a bottle of alcohol every 2 days. I was basically drinking a fifth of vodka to myself every other day. And I was like, okay, well, I have nothing to lose at this point. She taught me how to meditate. Once I said I was going to meditate, my mother and my grandmother told me I would be opening the door to devils. My grandma, the pastor, and my mother. My mom was very religious and really was just indoctrinated into the church. So when I told my mom, I'm going to learn how to meditate. I think I want to get off of all these meds that I was on. Like, I was in therapy for 10 years. I just want to get off of it. You know, I want to see if maybe I can just get calm on my own. And my mom said, Jenna-Lynn, I better not find out. I better not find out. Because that's the doorway to devils. Meditation? Guys, this was 14 years ago. This was a while ago. This wasn't just yesterday. I mean, this was way back when you couldn't meditate and it wasn't common, and it was, especially in the Western. It was in the West. It was not approved of. But I kept wondering, like, why do I get to calm myself with big pharma, but I can't do it by going into my own head? This fucking makes sense. If only I knew now what I knew then, I would have known that it was just a fear mechanism. It was just me being in the Matrix. I could have easily told them to kick rocks. But yeah, so my mom called my grandmother, and that's when she said, I better not find out. You'll be going straight to hell, Missy. And I said to my mom, and I'll never forget this, I said, don't you think I'm already in hell? I drink alcohol like a fish. I'm on medications to combat what medications do to my mind. I'm on medications to ease the side effects of other medications. Do you not think I'm already in hell? So I meditated twice. I did what I was told twice. My witchy friend, she taught me how to do it, and I tried it twice on my own. I just had some music playing on my phone, and I set it next to my bed, and I just laid down in bed, and I started to meditate. I can't even tell you what the fuck I did. I have no idea. But the second time I did it, I had a Kundalini awakening. I had an out-of-body experience. The second time I ever meditated, I came out of my body. And it was about 30 seconds. It only lasted 30 seconds. I was dancing with a being of light. A being of light helped my soul get out of my body because I was stuck. I was stuck. I was trying to get out of my body. I could feel that I was about to leave my body, and I had never done that before. I didn't even know that was possible. I had actually really only thought that like old people experience that when they're dying. I didn't think that you could do that while meditating. That wasn't my intention. That wasn't my goal. My goal is just to calm my shit thoughts. So all of a sudden, I can feel that my soul is about to leave my body. And I was like, what the fuck? I need help. I need help. I can't get out. And then all of a sudden, this being of white light gracefully pulled me out of my body. And it took me down the hallway from my bedroom. It went down the hallway. It guided me. It led me. And I went into this room that I had just made up. I just redid. It was a hobby room for me. It was supposed to be like a fun room for me to do music and art and stuff. And because I was with my husband at that time. I was engaged, I think, at that time. And so I went into that room. This being led me into that room, and we guided. We just like hovered. We didn't have legs. We were just two beings of light. We were just balls of light. And so I went into this room, and the windows were open just like this. You know, it was like there was no window curtains or anything. And it was so bright in there. And then this being was so bright that it was like blinding. I would have been blinded if I had eyes. I knew that much. I would have been blind. It was the brightest thing I've ever seen. And anyway, it spoke telepathically to me. It spoke to me in my mind. I saw that I was also a ball of light, but I was smaller. I was a golden ball of light. I was about the size of a volleyball. And this being was maybe the size of like a beach ball. And so I was smaller than this thing, and I was golden. And anyway, while I was in there, I heard telepathically, would you like to dance with me? I just remembered something. A couple of days ago, my twin flame texted me and he says, dance with me right now. And he's like 1,000 miles away, but he did. He said, dance with me. That's fun. Anyway, okay, so the story. This being said, do you want to dance with me? And I said, no, thank you. Not me. No. One, I'm too clumsy. I'm not a dancer. And you are much too beautiful. Much too holy. I don't think so. I'm going to embarrass myself. I don't want that. I'm sorry. And then it insisted. It said, come on. You know you do. You know you want to dance with me. And I mean, it was tempting. It was. And I said, okay, fine, whatever. All right. Okay. And it said, yeah, you need to lighten up some. You need to lighten up a little bit. So I said, okay. So it took me by the hand. It gently grabbed me by the hand, but I didn't have hands, but I knew that I would have had hands. Does that make sense? Like, even though it was my spirit body, it felt like I had hands. So it just like gently took me by the hand, and it started twirling me around. I did this like a whole 180, or a 360-degree motion over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I was like in absolute euphoric bliss. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever felt in my entire life. And I could still feel my body in the bed, though. I could still see that my body was in the bed and I was out of my body. I was both in my body and out of it at the same time. I was in two places at once. And while we were twirling around like that, I started to feel all this emotional overwhelm, like just the most beautiful love that has ever existed. And I just knew that my sins were forgiven right then. I knew that I was so unconditionally loved that I could never do any wrong. I knew that I would be loved for eternity. It was the most beautiful, loving experience of my entire life. And I started crying. My bed, like my tears. Oh, a red cardinal. Oh my. My grandma's an ancestor on the other side, and she comes to me as red cardinal. So the experience was really crazy. I started crying. And it was like, I was so enraptured with love that I could literally feel tears streaming down either side of my face while I was laying in bed. Like I was laying on my back, I could just feel tears running down my face. And it was so life-changing. It looked like a tornado of light. It looked like this being and I were just dancing in a tornado of light. It was so bright. It looked like 1,000 crystals, like gleaming. It was just brightness. All it was light. It was insane. It was insane. And then when we finally stopped dancing, I said, this only lasted 30 seconds. This whole experience was only like maybe 30 seconds. It was not nearly long enough. So I started to say, telepathically, please don't make me go back. I don't want to go back. No. I want to stay with you. I want to stay with you. I don't care what it takes. I want to stay with you. Do not send me back. Please, please, please don't. And all of a sudden I heard, I want you to spend more time in here. And then boom, I went back to my body. Just like that. I got really angry. I didn't understand what had just happened. The most beautiful love I've ever experienced in my life, and it was just ripped from me. I shot up out of my bed, tears running down my face. I'd wipe them off and then would still cry. And then I wipe them off and I still cry. The flood of emotion, the flood of what just happened. Mainly anger. Where did this being go? What the fuck just happened to me? Why can't I want to do that again? I want to do that again. And so I shot right up. I sat up on the bed. I wiped my face and I was like, oh my God, I just met God. And I knew in my soul that was God. So I ran the fuck downstairs. I ran as fast as you can. I ran down those stairs and I told my husband, I said, turn the TV off. And I stood right in front of the big screen, right when he had this football game on. I said, turn it off. I got to tell you something. And he's like, what? And I'm just sitting here bawling. And I'm like, I just met God. I just met God. I just met a being of light. I literally just had an encounter with something. And he's like, okay, that's really cool. I'm happy for you. Okay. And then he just says, can you move, please? Because I was busy. Sure. So I step out of the way, let him watch his football game. Then I called the witch, the one who put me on to meditation. I called her and I said, could I please have some sort of meeting with you? Because I just something happened to me and I think it went wrong or something. I don't know, but the meditation thing you told me to do, I got something happened. And then she said, okay, well, let's meet tomorrow at noon for drinks. And I was like, yeah, that's how awesome she was. She would literally go for a margarita at noon on any day that ended in a Y. I fucking loved that bitch. Anyway, the point is, I got there and I told her about what happened to me. And she just could not even formulate a sentence. She said, Jenna, I've been meditating for 10 years, and I have never experienced that in my entire life. I don't know how to help you. Okay. I don't like that answer. What the fuck do I do? What do I do? There's no family, no friends, no nothing. I didn't have YouTube back then. There was none of this. There was no spiritual awakening for the masses. There wasn't, you can log in and find a spiritual guru anytime, just YouTube it. There was nothing like that. So I started to have all these experiences that were paranormal and psychic in nature, and it was like astral travel and astral projections, and I could leave my body on a whim. I was starting to be able to leave my body on a whim. And there was no one coaching me, no one mentoring me. And I got involved in these groups. I would try my best to find other people that experienced something similar. So I'd be guided to go on these like apps, kind of like Discord, but there's one in particular that I really used to get on. It was so great. It was basically like a live debate. You could have debate with anybody on this app. You get the floor for like up to a minute, and you can talk to people and share your story for like a minute, and then it was really fun. It's actually still, I think, around. So I'm gonna see about downloading that app again. But the point is, I started meeting these people that called me a Luciferian, and I was like, wait, what? What do you mean? I don't know what that is. I still don't, even to this day. And I'm like, Lucifer. Lucifer, the devil? And they're like, yeah, you dance with the devil. Really? Yeah, Jenna. You dance with the devil. And I was like, what? But it was love, though. And they were like, yeah, but Satan can masquerade as an angel of light. And so I was like, oh, okay. So I was deceived. Oh, what? Nah, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. It was the most beautiful, loving, unconditionally open. That doesn't make sense to me. But yet, every time I would share this story, people would write blogs about me. Literally, a man wrote a blog about me on he had a pretty large following. He wrote a blog about how I was a Satanist. And back then, I was so insecure in my own self that I listened to what these people fucking said about me. They would say I was literally the devil, and because I'm so sure about what I saw, that I'm powerful and leading people astray. My voice is being heard, and they should silence me. In modern day America, in the year 2023 is when this happened. They voted whether to burn me or drown me in this app. I was in an app, and they voted, should we burn the witch or should we drown her? Literally, a group of people, an actual group of fucking human beings said that to me. Couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. People actually voted. So it's given witch hunt, and I'm giving witchy vibes, which I'm a big fan. I love it. I'll die for this cause 1,000,000 times over. So anyway, my story is kind of different because I had to do it without anybody knowing. Like I had to do all of this work silently. I didn't get to have a platform along my journey. I didn't get to have people who also agreed with me that this shit is real. Paranormal events, psychic awakenings, chakra systems, demons. I was possessed so many times. I got possessed a few times. And all that stuff that happened too. Like, it was just me being initiated into the world of devils. And it almost was like my mom and grandma were right. I was opening the door to devils. That didn't mean I was one. So I went through 14 years of persecution. And in that time, that being of light would still show up in my life, giving me guidance, instruction, how to handle an awakening, how to handle a spiritual catharsis. I didn't know what I was going through. I was going through some sort of like awakening at a soul level, and there was no one else to help guide me. So this being still guided me. And so, yeah, as people would call me a Luciferian and they would tell me I'm the devil, I do want to dance. I do want to dance. You're a great dancer, Marcos. One of the best. And I was always getting called like the demon worshiper. I was like, and then I would know about, I would learn things. I would learn the occult. I would learn the dark arts. I would learn mystical, magical shit. Not dark as in evil, dark as in hidden, dark as in mysterious, dark as in what is there but what we can see with our physical eyes. That's what I mean by dark arts. And so I became kind of a hermit. I remember at one point in my journey just kind of wearing a toga. Literally, I remember it. I would wear shorts and an oversized t-shirt of my husband's, and I would just, literally, I just looked like I was a fucking monk. I didn't even have a driver's license at one point. I was off the grid completely. Like, nobody knew my name. I was dying. I was dying to self. My whole day would involve me singing to birds outside while high. I would smoke. I'd go outside and I'd play with little ants and butterflies. They would just show up on my hand. And I would just sing outside to the birds. And then instances like that, my grandma shows up as a cardinal and I would just sing to her. Like sometimes she'd show up and I'd just be like, hey, how you doing? Let me sing. Started to get really amazing at being able to see in the invisible. I was looking at the void. I was looking at the nothing. And I just really enjoyed living with God. Even though people said he wasn't God, I know what it was. And I didn't understand. Why me? Why me? Why was I chosen? Why did I get to see that? People were so angry. People were mad. They didn't understand why I got to see that, and they didn't. And I think deep down I know the answer now. They said I wasn't afraid, and they all were. They were afraid, and I'm not. God's going to only show himself to those who are unafraid. Otherwise, why scare someone? Why force yourself on someone? That's not love. I had to ask for it. I even had to ask to get out of my body. I even asked this being, can you please help me get out of my body? So it's not, I had to ask, and I shall receive. And so I went 14 years. I went 14 years living a horrible life. Because after that beautiful euphoric time where I was a monk, that's when shit really went crazy. That's when it really started getting... I started to understand that there are also dark things out there that hurt me and target me. And I was like, wait. I'm all about the smoking, hanging out with little butterflies, hugging trees, being close to nature. I'm all about that. But then it started to raise my vibration so much that things started hurting me. Things started targeting me. I started having demonic attacks set my way. And this was when I couldn't quite handle it. It was too overwhelming. And so I had a near-death experience in 2019. And I went to the other side, and I died. I died. I saw the void. I saw the nothing. I was there. I was in hell. It was hell because I hadn't applied anything that I'd used towards helping the collective, towards helping humanity, towards being free within my own self. Up to that point, I had only hidden my gifts. I had only ran and hid from people who would say I'm the devil or whatever. I wasn't actually facing my fears. I was just avoiding them. And so I died. I had a near-death experience in 2019, and I came back psychic. I was told on the other side that if I can admit that I'm dead, I can come back and try again. And so I did. There was a consciousness, there was a voice, a loud, commanding voice on the other side in this darkness. It looked like outer space, but it had no planets. There was no lights or anything. There was one pinprick of light. It was a tunnel of light, and I knew I wasn't going to make it. I knew I was not going to enter that tunnel of light. Most people say, like, don't go to the light. Well, I didn't. I didn't go to the light. Maybe that means you just kind of become obsolete. I don't know. I just knew I couldn't make it. It was like that looked like heaven, and I couldn't make it. And so I was like, I want to go back. I want to go back into my body. And I said, I need to go back now. I still have things to do. And so this voice said, okay, you can go back, but you have to admit that you're dead. And I'm like, I'm not dead. I'm not dead, bro. I'm not dead. I'm not dead. I'm talking to you right now, and I see my physical body right there. You see that? You see that? That's my body. I'm not dead. And so after this consciousness asked me to say that, and I refused, it left. It left me. It backed away. And when it did, I heard all of these voices that sounded like the damned. It sounded like, help me, I'm dying. Tell this person I need this, and tell my daughter I said that, and this person stole this, and this person attacked me, and this, and it was horrible. And I heard all these voices, and I was like, get away from me, get away from me, get away from me. And they wouldn't. And then I was like, oh shit, this is real. Oh shit. Oh shit. Is this hell? Am I dead for real? Am I dead? It started to like compute. It started to like, what the fuck? Oh my God, no, I'm not dead. But then I would like go through this like battle between like, yeah, no, you're dead. Look, Jen, this is serious. And then they'd be like, no, you're not dead because you're still thinking and talking and you have a voice. So then I was like, these things, these beings, these whatever, I don't know. It was like humans. It was like damned souls. It was souls. And they were attacking me. It wasn't they're attacking me. They were trying to cling on to me for dear life. They were just trying like, help me, tell this person this. And I was like, get off of me. And it wouldn't happen. So finally I said, okay, fine. Whoever you are, okay. Okay. I'm dead. Boom! Instantly back in my body. It took me about 12 hours to gain full consciousness. I was in and out of consciousness for about 12 hours maybe. But yeah, I got back in my body. And I was psychic that same day. That's when I gained my psychic abilities, that same day. And so after that, I knew that I had a mission. I knew that I had to help the collective. I knew that the gifts I had, I needed to fucking utilize them. I couldn't choose fear. I couldn't run from it just because people say Lucifer's the devil. I have to fucking believe it. Just because people say I'm the devil doesn't mean I have to fucking believe it. And I had no idea how I was going to overcome this fear. So I went an entire month forgiving people. Just you know, you really appreciate life when you're dead. So I started forgiving everybody, even my mother-in-law. I started forgiving my family. I started saying, I'm so sorry. I hurt you. I know I did. I love you. And I raised my vibration so fast. in only 1 month that I manifested my twin flame. This was in 2019. And sadly, that man passed away. That man died. And I've been going through all this psychic warfare since then, this depression, this sadness, this loss of self, until recently. Until recently, I was absolutely depressed. Even though I still knew God, even though I still knew God was guiding me and protecting me and loving me and stuff, I could still be depressed. I could still be sad. You can know that you're loved by the Most High God and still be absolutely wanting to die. That's how it was for me. When my twin flame took his life in prison, I lost will to live. And I think the reason why is because I love so intensely and my heart is so pure that because I saw God, my standard is pretty fucking high. And I wanted him and only him, and he died. And so I started being told that if you continue on your journey and you help the collective, he will come back. It will be inevitable. You will manifest your true divine counterpart again, once again, because we never die. Souls don't die. It's eternal. We are light. We are eternal souls. And so though I was depressed and like getting involved with men that were not him because I just wanted to settle. I hated my life. Being told by invisible people that you may or may not really truly be talking to, and they're telling you shit like, just stay focused, just stay happy, it's happening, we're getting him around for you again, don't worry, he's gonna reincarnate and come in and save the day, don't you worry about a thing. Okay. Said no one ever. Said no one ever. No one has ever fucking said that. So here I was, going 6 years, being told my twin flame will be back in my life. Yet, I so many times did not want to believe it. So I got involved with other men that I loved, but were definitely not him. I mean, soulmates, sure, which is really great. A soulmate is nothing to scoff at. A soulmate is still a very loving partnership, but it wasn't him. And so each time I'd get in these relationships, I'd be like, dude, there's something wrong with you, man. Something's off. You're not the one. You're not the one, period. You're not the one. You're not the one I've dreamed of. You're not the one I saw. You're not the one I danced with. You're not the one. 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 Boom, 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 boom. Just every single time I got in a karmic partnership, I moved on. They just weren't doing it for me. They weren't good enough. That's the truth. And so I really lost all sense of hope until recently. Recently, I made a decision that whatever partnership I have, I will be using to work for God. And I made a decision firmly, finally, after fucking around with all these men, I finally said, you know what? Fuck that. I want marriage. I want commitment. I want a man who invests in me like I invest in him. I want a spiritually upright man. I want a holy man. I want a divine man, a man who works for God despite all the labels, despite also being persecuted for what he knows. And I made a vow. I made a pact with God that after the last man I was with, I said, no more. They're just not, they're not the one. So I vowed. I even said, I don't care if I'm like alone for the next 50 eons. I will not be with anybody that is not my twin flame, period. And sure as shit, about a couple weeks later, I meet Marcos here. Marcos met me. Marcos came onto my channel. And it's just been Fucking gorgeous. And now I see that it was me. It was me choosing fear. All this time I was choosing fear. I was so scared of us being persecuted for what we believe in. I was so scared of me being known, well known, for being this controversial, for being the girl that openly claims I love Lucifer. I was just thinking, as a white woman in America, not many people go out here boasting and bragging about all their spiritual experiences. Even having all these people accuse me of Luciferianism, I still knew deep down that it was love. I was just afraid that we could be persecuted. I was afraid we could be killed for what we are. So it was like realizing that the light bearer, the light bringer, has already been working with me. I've already been talking about how I love Lucifer. This isn't a secret. You guys can go back on my channel and see it. It's not a secret. I've never hidden this fact. Nor have I hidden that I'm a witch. Nor have I hidden that I'm a light worker. Nor have I hidden anything about my experience. I've actually been probably the most vocal, transparent person on the interwebs, to be honest with you. So my testimony, my journey, my life purpose, the reason I fucking wake up in a day is to tell people about the light that saved me. And Lucifer is a archangel light bringer. He brings light. Exactly. And so anyway, I just realized recently when meeting Marcos that it was a fear of mine. It was simply a fear. A fear of death. A fear of persecution, a fear of being called a demon, a fear of being called a devil. So fucking what? So fucking what? If 8 billion people on the planet try to convince me that I'm something I say I'm not, who fucking cares? Really? What are they gonna do, kill me? I've already been dead. What are they going to do? Imprison me? I've already been in my own prison. What are they going to do? Take my truest love from me? They already killed him. What are they going to do? Publicly humiliate me? I've already been publicly humiliated. What are they going to do? Strip me of my finances? I've already been homeless, living in my car, not able to eat food. What are they going to do? Take my family from me? I don't talk to anybody in my family ever. I haven't talked to them since 2021. I haven't seen them since 2021. I don't talk to any of my family anymore. What are they going to do? Womb magic? They already stripped me of my fertility. I actually had a lot of dark magic done on my womb, and I was infertile. I say was because I've healed. I say was because I'm in love. I say was losing my family because now I've gained a new family. My soul family is arriving in my life. And all I have to do is be fearless and talk about my experiences. Am I scared? Duh. I mean, it'd be stupid not to be. I think you'd be stupid not to have a little bit of concern, a little bit of caution. But what is the real fear? That I could be killed for this? I could be killed, I could be persecuted for this stuff? And? So fucking what? Come at me, bitch. Fucking try it. No, I'm serious. Come at me. I wish a witch bitch would. I'm not afraid of it. I'm out here being the most powerful woman I fucking know. And I'm not about to stop now. Especially while I'm in love, and especially while people try to threaten my twin flame union and try to take this gorgeous man from me. Fuck that. Ain't no way in hell. No one can take it from me. The only one who did take it from me was me. So now I'm in my power. Now I'm a free bird. And as they try to put me back in a cage, I just look at the cage. I'm like, honestly, maybe you deserve to be there. Maybe you should get in for a change. Maybe you should be the one in spiritual jail. Maybe you should be the one that honestly gets sat down by the universe for persecuting somebody that just is out here expressing her spiritual freedom, her spiritual liberties. You ever think of that? Nobody wants to ever think of that. Nobody wants to ever think about the roles being reversed and the witch hunt turning back on those that are hunting her. So that's what's going to be happening going forward. I will never again be persecuted for what I believe in. I will now go free. I will be allowed to do what I want, when I want, how I want, if I want, with whom I want, as long as I want. I have spiritual provisions, spiritual protections, and I'm a sovereign being. Not one person is ever going to tell me that I am not allowed to speak how I wish to speak. Everyone loves Jesus, right? That dude's a saint. Everybody loves that guy. But how many of you actually can say you love the other side? I'm just saying. And it's a far stretch to even call Satan Lucifer. In fact, did you know that Lucifer is in the Bible just one time? He's mentioned by name one time. And in that one time, he is not mentioned at all as Satan or the devil. So when somebody asked me recently, but why? Why, Jenna? Why do you love Lucifer? Why the fuck not? And whatever answer you just came up with in your head as to a reason why I should not love Lucifer, that right there indicates your level of fear. That indicates your lack of knowledge, your limitation, your programming, your indoctrination, not mine. So while the Holy War never really ended, guys, I'm afraid it's still here. This time I know I win the Holy War because I know the Holy One. I'm not a devil. I'm not the devil. The devil doesn't even exist. The devil is not some dude with a pitchfork in the fiery furnace. And anyone condemning me to hell, I don't understand why you would when you don't have that authority. I think the ones that should really be trapped in their own cyclical bullshit are those that come at me with hatred anymore. So it won't be me that suffers any longer. It will be those that want suffering for me. And that should scare you. You should be scared. Don't send bullshit and you won't get it back. Don't be evil and you won't get it back. Don't wish ill will on other people and you won't get that shit back. Do you see what I mean? So it should scare you, and the world should be scared. Because you can't go out here anymore just blatantly accusing people of something that you don't know to be true. Not anymore. It's the new age. We're in the age of Aquarius now. You can't do that shit and get away with it anymore. Especially when somebody calls on the Most High God for help and provisions and healing and love. You will never hurt the innocent again and get away with it. It just won't happen. It is literally ending. It's the old world is ending. The old world of getting away with that shit is ending. You will not hate me simply because I practice the religious liberties that I'm afforded. At least in America, where I was proudly born. I'm glad to have been born here. We have the Constitution. So I have my ability to worship whom I wish to worship. and love whom I wish to love. And basically, it's the equivalent of telling me that I'm not allowed to date any guy I want to date because you don't like him. You're saying I'm not allowed to worship a God I want to worship because you don't approve. I don't give a fuck if you approve. I'm not here for your approval. I give zero shits. Zero. Goose egg. That's how many shits I give about whether you like or not that I worship Lucifer or Jesus or Krishna or Buddha or Allah or whoever I wish to partake with, whoever I wish to converse with. That's how much I don't give a shit. Nor will I care about the acute accusations and judgments of others and whom I wish to date and marry and have babies with. It will no longer be a fear of mine. It will start to be a fear of yours. And so going forward, just know, if you ever watch me again and you have any ill will, ill intentions in your heart towards me, it's just going to be evident that it's a you problem, not a me problem. Your fear is what's going to be highlighted. And my lack of fear is what's going to be highlighted very soon. I don't have to look into Islam. I don't want to follow religion. Thank you. Everyone got their own cage. Oh, you meant cage with a key. Don't open it. Why would I not? Why would I not open a cage that I'm trapped in? Make that make sense. Is this story a positive one or not? Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares if it's positive or not? You can leave any fucking time. Who is forcing you to sit here and listen to my story? No one. So why do I have to paint a positive fucking portrait for you? Why is that my goddamn job? Why is my job to make your life easier? To make you less uncomfortable? No, I'll wait. I'll wait. Why is it my responsibility to put a nice little bow on my story, on my testimony, on my life, and hand it to you, a random stranger who I know nothing about? It is not my job. You want to give it a positive spin? Go give it a fucking positive spin. You want to give it an evil spin? Go give it an evil spin. Either way, this is my life, my testimony, my tiny, teeny tiny corner of the internet, and I will say what the fuck I want on it. It is not my job to entertain your ass. I'm not here for you. I'm here for myself. And what I'd like to encourage people is to be here for themselves too. What I really promote, and I've been promoting, and I've been boldly promoting this, is self-worship. Stop worshiping something external of you, something outside of yourself, and give the worship to your damn self. You're the one that wakes up every day and puts food on your table. You're the one that every day prays. You're the one that goes to work. You're the one that looks in the mirror and says, "You've got this, baby. You're so pretty." You're the one that does that. Don't you deserve the credit? Who else did it? Right. So I believe firmly that I worship myself. I worship myself as God and goddess. I worship myself as divinity. I don't worship myself as the devil. If you want to believe that I do, you have every fucking free, go have at it. Have at it. It's lovely. Yay for free will. Yay for you thinking for yourself. I love that. In fact, I would die for that shit. I would die a million deaths so that you could have free will to think of your own thoughts. To think, is she the devil? Maybe she is. Maybe she's not. I love that. That's exactly why I left religion, because I love that shit. I loved asking questions to a point where I got kicked out of a cult. Multiple cults hated my ass. It's still not changing. I'm not getting any quieter. There will never be another person that scares me into submission. You just won't. No troll, no government agency, no man, no high priest, no low priest, no devil, no demon, nothing, honey. Nothing. Once I do return to sender, once I say, this isn't my energy, your hatred for me is not mine, that's yours. I'll return it back, and you'll know that you probably should stop messing with me. You should probably stop watching me if you don't agree with my content. Really. I mean, that's just common sense, but not everybody has common sense. Common sense ain't so common, babe. You'd think that you'd have a little bit more self-discipline about you. And if you can't stand a girl who's talking this ish, then you would just leave. You would think it'd be so fucking easy. Why would you subject yourself to hate? What, do you hate yourself this much that you have to watch a girl you can't stand? I'll never understand that. Mainly when it comes to Christians especially, but religious people in general. They show up and they're like, oh, you need Jesus and you need this and that. And I'm like, I don't need Jesus. Jesus needs me. The same Jesus that you say demands your worship is the same Jesus I avoid like the plague. I'm not about to worship something outside of myself. I don't worship money. I don't worship men. I don't worship a crucifix. I don't worship a bank account. I do not worship a Bible. I do not worship anything that is not me, myself, and I. That's it. Nor should you. But yet you do. You create graven images and then you worship that shit. You worship money like it's going to save you in the end times. You worship celebrities like they're somehow, I don't know, commendable, upright. Even people in the spiritual community, even recently, I'm not going to name names. You've seen even big spiritual gurus fall from grace. You've witnessed them be human. You've witnessed them with millions of followers have something happen in their physical world that proves you're worshiping and you're idolizing someone who's fallible. Why? You just don't want to go within, and you just don't want to be bold about it. You just don't want to be fearless about who you are. You're God. And that's okay. You don't have to, but I'm going to. I'm going to be brave about it because I love my job. I love my job. This is my gig. I love what I do. I love it. I love it. This is my job. I do what I love. I love what I do and I get paid for it. I've been encouraged for a very long time by God to talk about this stuff. And it's just been, honestly, heartbreak. When I lost Mike, my magician. When he died, I died. A beautiful, gorgeous, generous soul who is just pure light in this world. And he was just targeted for being himself. And he couldn't handle it. And so he sadly took his life in prison in 2019. Well, it was more like 2021. Yeah, it was 2021. But he was already going through a downward spiral. He was into heavy drugs and he was signing soul contracts with people that weren't good for him. And he had no guidance. He had no high priestess. He didn't have anybody to be like, listen, dude, the fuck? Why are you signing an agreement with that guy? Why are you getting in a label with that guy? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? Because he was a musician. And so, like, he had no guidance. He got caught up. And when he died, I gave up. And only just now is there this semblance of hope in my life again. It's the most beautiful feeling in the whole world. Like faith, blind faith is being rewarded. I'm meeting him again. Most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And it's really getting me to see that, like, whoa, so you really did just choose fear. That's it, Jenna. All you did was choose fear. If you would have kept going fearlessly and in love, you wouldn't have been targeted as much. But you didn't love yourself enough. You would believe shit when people said, "You're the devil, bitch. Shut up. You're the devil." You'd believe that. So I believed it. I didn't love myself enough to say, "No, that's not true. I'm not the devil. I'm not the devil." The fuck? I met unconditional love. I saw God. I saw pure divinity. I didn't dance with the devil. God danced with me. So, people that ask, why do you love Lucifer? Why the fuck not? He's mentioned one time in the Bible. It's just a name. It's just a name. I think any dude who's mentioned one time and villainized by the entire fucking population is honestly somebody I want to fuck with. I'm serious. It's given rebelliousness. I want to know why you could be hated that much for being mentioned one time. I think he's the OG underdog. So, people ask, and so I'm going to tell you. Why do you love Lucifer? Why the fuck not? Because you don't? Why do you love witchcraft, Jenna? Why not? It's a thing. If it's a real thing, and it exists, and I know it can do wonders for me and other people, why wouldn't I use it? Why not? So the real question, guys, why the fuck not? And that's what I had to ask myself over the years too, with why did God choose me? Why did I get selected for this? You know how long it took me to finally answer that question? I had to answer it for myself. Nobody could answer it for me. I had to answer to why you, Jenna? Why were you chosen? Why the fuck not? Why not me? If it's going to be anybody, why not me? If anybody's going to have twin flame union, why not me? If anyone's going to be the first millionaire in their family, why not me? If anyone's going to get out of horrible cults, distorted masculines running covens and broken marriages, why not me? If anybody's going to heal their fertility issues, why not me? If anybody's going to materialize miracles out of thin air, why not me? Why? Why not? It's fun. I live for this shit. Why wouldn't I do it? Down a little bit? I guess I'm down a little bit. I think you get to that point where you just take on the projections for what they are, and you do take it on in that you accept that it's happening. Like, people really do call me the devil. And then you just say, like, and? Okay. If I'm not the devil, though, and I am working for God, and you come after me, well, you would be coming after an innocent person. You'd be hurting an innocent person. So if that's the case, that's on you. That's on your soul. That's your karma. That's not mine. I don't have to live with that shit. I get to go be happy with the man that I love and have babies and go build a brand new life. I have amazing soul family members. Yeah. I don't have to answer ever again to anyone who doesn't like me loving Lucifer, except for God. When God asks, why do you love Lucifer? I'm going to answer him. And so here it is, why I love Lucifer. And the way that God loves me has you all entertained. The way that Marcos loves me will soon have you all entertained. The way that I love me will soon have you all entertained. So what's there to live for if not love? What's there to do if not dance with God? The way that this man loves me is as fiercely as I love Lucifer. So if you want to enjoy the show, feel free. You don't have to bless me. You don't have to send me money. You don't have to send me a kind compliment. You don't have to pray for me. You don't have to bless me. But you are certainly not going to be cursing me. You're never going to hurt me again. I win. Checkmate. Always, 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 always. Always one step ahead. I'm really actually 10 steps ahead, but I like to just keep the playing field even, and I like to say it's only one step ahead because like it's fair. I think that that's more fair, but I'm really 10 steps ahead. So yeah, the way that this man loves me is the way that I fiercely love God. So I will be loving the people that love me. And I will not be wasting time loving those that don't love me. Make that make sense. Make it make sense. Why would I go out of my way to love you, heal you, teach you, protect you? And then why would I use my husband to do that as well? Why would I ask him to go heal you, protect you, love you, guide you if you don't like me or him? You don't love. Why would we even want to help you? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'm done. I'm loving those that love me, and I'm not loving those that don't love me. You see? I'm not a doormat. I'm empathic, but I'm not a martyr. I have boundaries, and because I have boundaries, this is why you watch me. I have boundaries, and because I have boundaries, this is why magic is coming to me. Why my manifestations show up out of thin fucking air, because those that have manifestations and keep them have really amazing boundaries. You have to. Otherwise, every Tom, Dick, and Harry will come at you trying to steal your inheritance. So I have amazing boundaries because I don't give to everyone. And that's what a lot of people like about me, that I am pretty selfish. I love that I'm selfish. Because I'm selfish, I get to be selfless. So I teach people how to have boundaries, and I do it rebelliously. I do it in a way that has people talking. And that's why I love Lucifer, because he and I are in the same boat. Dude's hated for absolute no reason. I kind of like him. I dig it. I like it. I really fuck with that guy. I'm serious. Why not? The whole world hates him, and he's not even mentioned but one time in the Bible. Come on, make it make sense. Make it make sense, you know? So yeah, I'm okay. People call me names like a demon and Jezebel spirit and a witch and a false prophet and all this, and that's fine. You can call me that. Maybe that's true. Could be true. Think about it. I wouldn't want to deny you that. That's true in your reality. That's truth. So I'm not going to sit here and say that's not true. It is true. You've made it true. But in my reality, I've made this true. I've made it true that I work for God. And God, the Most High God, is the one that sent me. And the Most High God is the one that puts money in my bank account and food in my fridge and love in my heart and a healthy, holy man in my bed. So I know who I work for. And if you want to say that I work for someone else, you can. It's given 1600s though. And honey, the 1600s called and wants its pitchforks back. Yeah? Yeah? That's what I thought. That's what I thought. We're not doing a modern day witch hunt. We're doing love and light, and that is what it's going to be on my channel. It's my voice, my channel, my testimony, my relationship, my blessings from the Most High God, and I will have exactly that. Blessings from the Most High God. Because the devil doesn't want me to have blessings. So any blessings I get in this next chapter, it's not from the devil, baby. Best believe the devil hates my fucking guts. I'm the devil's worst nightmare. Why the fuck would that guy want to bless me? Come on. Come on, guys. Think for a second. No. Use your noggin. Use your noggin. Why would the devil want to bless me? Why would the devil want to bless any of us? Unless you're working for him, I guess. But I'm not working for him. I don't get blessings from that dude. He wishes I'd be homeless, starving, dead, sweating to death in the middle of Arizona desert in my car. I lived in my car for the entire summer. It was horrible. That's what the devil wants for me. And that's what the devil will get if I let him. But I don't let him. So the devil that isn't real is just an illusion. It's just the opposite of good. I would say whatever the devil is, it's not a man or a woman or even an entity, really. It's just a theory. It's not that it's not real. It's real in that you feel it, but it's not real in that it's an actual God. Like, it doesn't deserve my worship. It doesn't even deserve my attention. You see? The one that does deserve my attention is the light that I've been worshiping since I was a little girl. When I would pray at church, I would see light. I would pray and I'd close my eyes and I would see light. And so that's why I love Lucifer. Anyway, I just wanted to make a public service announcement. Oh, Defective Detective, I didn't even see you here. Hi. Hi. I wish you success. Thank you so much. Morning, Jenna. It's quite a day. It has just begun, but I'm already tired from keeping the demons at bay. But it is my job, and I shall do it. And that I shall. Work till I find another job that's fit. I can't wait for you to get a job that is so perfect for you. For you to get what you want exactly as it is tailor-made. I can't wait. To be completely real, Defective, I can't wait to have you change your name to Reflective Detective. There's nothing defective about you. So that is my story. That's just a brief summary. I will be sharing more of my testimony along the journey because this is the craziest shit that's ever happened in the history of any human ever. My journey up to this point has been so fucking magically delicious, honey. I'm going to write several books. I'm going to probably have several platforms. I will probably be mentoring and motivating thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people eventually when I don't choose fear. And so I just wanted you guys to know that this is where I stand on things. Public service announcement. I love Lucifer. Public service announcement. I love Jesus too. So the way that I feel about Lucifer is that why should somebody be allowed to tell me whom I can love? And that goes with my twin flame as well, because there's a lot of people that say I shouldn't love him. A lot of people that say, Jenna, he's too good for you, or you're just not enough. But he is perfect for me. He's the love of my life, and I want him. And if there's a few gnats around, if there's a few bugs, if there's a few things that go bump in the night that try to tell me I don't get to have him, it doesn't matter. I do get to have him. I already have him. He's already mine. He already fights for me. He already is with me in union already. So, yeah, just going forward, this is the more controversial side of my story, in that Lucifer saved me. And I believe the serpent, I believe the serpent is actually the Messiah. So, and now finally, for the first time in my life, I'm not really afraid of what they say and what they can do, and who can do what? Who can do anything? What can you do? What can you do? Let's see. What can you do? How can you hurt me? You want to try? Would you like to try? Would you like to silence me? They've already tried. Would you like to take everything from me? They've already done that. I'm getting it back. See, that's the difference. I'm not going to allow ever again for me to be without. I love myself too much. I'm going to have exactly what I want, when I want it, how I want it, if I want it, with whom I want it, as long as I want it. That is it. That is called being a sovereign witch bitch. And I'm going to be exactly as I damn well please. And right now, that's sovereign. I will love whomever I wish to love. And I will love that man with every ounce of my being. And I will make sure that the Holy Spirit goes on behalf of that man and blesses him readily, all the time, because he's beautiful. That's what he deserves. As the angel of light that he is, and that you are, and that I am, we all deserve blessings. We don't deserve persecution. So stop being persecuted. Tell people to fuck off. Tell people that they can sit their ass down, meditate, and get it right with the Lord. They can have a fucking seat. You don't owe anything to anyone. You don't owe anything to anyone. So, why don't you give it to yourself? Why don't you give your love to yourself? Why don't you give your words of praise and your adoration? Why don't you give it to yourself in the mirror? I mean, it's given God. You know what I mean? You're God, so like, why don't you worship yourself? I do. I love it. I love it. If you were God, able to praise yourself as God, then I should do the same when I meet you. Like, if you tell yourself every day, I am beautiful, I am so healthy, I am so rich, I'm abundant, I'm the best, okay, let me do that for you, thank you. I'd love that. And as a psychic, I can tune in and I can practically read minds anymore, and I can hear what you say about yourself. And I only want to be around you if you say good shit about yourself. Because I see you as God. I see you as holy. I see you as perfect. So does God. So does the divine. And so if you're going to sit here telling yourself other heinous things, I won't be about it. I will fucking cut cords and I will boot you out of my life. I only want to be around people who worship themselves as God. Period. End of story. That's it. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. That is literally the gospel, girl. That is it. If you do not love yourself as God would love you, get the fuck out of my life. Nobody is perfect. Okay, I'm already not going to read that comment. People, do you not see how God sees you? Do you not see how true unconditional love sees you? This is why we don't have perfect, this is why we're not in twin flame union. Because we think that we're not worthy of unconditional love of a twin flame union. We say shit like, I'm a sinner. Nobody's perfect. I wish I were better. He could never love me. What the fuck? That's not how God sees you. So why do you see you like that? And why do you speak shit over your life like that? Why can't you instead say, I'm beautiful, I'm gorgeous, I'm amazing, I'm powerful. I'm the most powerful God that exists because in my reality, I'm the only God that exists in being able to create for myself. When people show up in my life, they are God. But they are not God of my reality in that they get to create for me. I create for me. Right? But that's a really, really slippery slope. When you say shit like nobody's perfect, I'm not going to read that. The Most High God is perfect. And are you the operant power in your reality? Are you the Most High God? You're perfect right now. Not in 30 pounds from now. Not when you have a better job. Not when your debt is paid off. Not when your kids behave better. You're perfect right now, and you're willing. You should be willing right now to receive unconditional love from the divine, from the universe, from your twin flame, from your soulmate, whatever. You should be able to accept that love right now and claim it. And the real question is, why are you not? Why do you not claim it? Because you say you're fallible. You say, I'm a sinner, I'm a sinner, I'm a sinner. So you don't claim what Jesus did for you then? Because the irony of all ironies here is the Christians that come to me saying, nah, Jenna, you're a sinner. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm unconditionally loved by God. I chose to accept the gift of Christ. Now you claiming that you're a sinner, you are literally telling the universe, I don't deserve things because look at me, I'm fallible. I'm not good. I'm not holy. I'm not perfect. I'm not worthy right now. That's a you problem. You're going to really have to address that situation if you want to start manifesting instantly things that actually benefit you. Because your worthiness issue is showing, okay? So don't send that shit, don't project that into my chat saying nobody's perfect, because that is not how God sees it. We're worthy right now. Right now. You're worthy right now of your twin flame. Not in 50 more lessons, not in oh, well, when I deal with my shadow work and I go to therapy for 10 years, then maybe. No, you're worthy of it now. You've been worthy of it now for a very long time. It's just that you did not want to accept it. And while I understand completely, I no longer understand. I'm done understanding. I'm going to just claim I'm worthy of this love. Unconditional love. This is why God bends over backwards to give me a beautiful life, and I get to vlog about it and talk about it and share my testimony. Why? Because I ask for it, I demand it, and I claim it. It's mine. No one gets to take that shit from me ever again. It's mine. The money in the bank account, mine. The sexy man, the beast of a man, a king in my bed, mine. Beautiful soul family that finds me, is attracted to me. Naturally, I don't have to advertise for this shit. Mine. Power in my voice. Mine. This is mine. And because I claim it so boldly, that's why God gives it to me. So, no, there will never be another instance where people can harm me for being myself. I allowed it before and I don't allow it now. Now I do shit like return to sender spells. Now I talk about it. Now I pray about it. Now I pray that my enemies fall flat on their face. I don't care anymore. Don't be my enemy. Stop being an actual enemy. If you accidentally send jealousy or envy, that's one thing. Like if somebody's just accidentally jealous, like that's not even intentional. That's not even deliberate. It's like whatever. Evil eye, yeah, sometimes people said that. But when you're deliberately going out of your way to harm somebody because you don't agree with their religious beliefs, you used to, in the age of Pisces, be able to get away with that shit. But we're in the age of Aquarius now. You can't get away with that shit. It's literally a new world order. You can't get away with it. That's not how it works. We're sovereign. And we're all waking up to our sovereignty, and we're all waking up to the power of our self, our Godhead. We are God. So you can't hurt somebody who knows they're God. They don't feel like they deserve that anymore. They don't feel like they deserve your punishment anymore. What happens when enough people who are bullied wake up and know that they're God and that they can send that shit back to their enemies? Now you've got a war on your hands, and only now. Before, it was just victimization. Before, it was just bullying. Before, it was just spiritual genocide. But now, people are starting to actually wake up and they're like, get off me. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. I said what I said. Leave me alone. They are allowed to have you get off of them. They are allowed to have you get out of their energy. And that's when the Most High sends people like me to start correcting dad ass and telling you to back the fuck up off these beautiful, innocent earth angels. Get off of these people. They don't owe you shit. They're not here for you. They're not here for your entertainment. They're not here for your pleasure. They're not here to be your scapegoat. They're not here for you to bully them and victimize them. They're not here for that. They're here to do better work for the collective. They're here to do work for God. They're here to pick up their cross and follow Christ. That's what they're here to do. These children of God. Leave them alone. Just like let them do whatever they want. If they think they're a magical unicorn and they think that they can become a mermaid tomorrow, let them. Who are you to tell them otherwise? No, really. Who are you to tell these people that they are not allowed to access their imagination? If a client comes to me telling me that they experienced a shadow figure, I'm not about to tell them they're wrong. What? They experienced it. That's real. Their imagination is real. Their imagination builds reality. Their imagination creates the next chapter for them. Imagination is just a preview of tomorrow's upcoming events. So what you will not do is ever get in the way of me helping these people who are magically delicious. They believe in some crazy ish. So what? So what? It doesn't make them schizophrenic. It doesn't make them bipolar, and it does not make them the devil. You will be getting the fuck up off them. You will leave them alone, and you will never target them again, period, because I am now using my twin flame union for good in helping these beautiful people. And until now, I hadn't been doing that. I'd been choosing fear. But now my union is sanctified, and it's pure, and it's holy, and it's like, wow, no one really can fuck with us. Let's go. Let's go, Marcos. Let's do it then. Because otherwise, I'm getting sick and fucking tired of innocent people who just believe in some things getting persecuted every single day, being called a witch or a warlock or a Jezebel spirit or a demon worshiper. And I've been there. I've seen it. 14 years I've been called a demon and a devil worshiper. I'm just here to prove that whatever I am, just call me blessed. You can call me the devil. You can call me anything. Just call me blessed, baby. Let's go. The only reason I think I'm not perfect is because of my eyes. Oh, in my eyes, my dad was perfect. He was the most perfect man there ever was. Now looking at him and saying I am as good as him it just feels weird. Again, why are we idolizing people? You idolize your dad, and while I'm happy about that, in that, great, you promote him, you honor him, you respect him because he's beautiful. Why are you not doing it for yourself? That's where I have the issue. It's like, take him off the pedestal, bro. Put yourself back up there. That's all I'm trying to get people to do. Take someone else off the if you don't take him off the pedestal, that's fine, but at least put yourself right up there with him, right? As an equal. We keep looking at these people and idolizing them. And that I mean, I guess it's okay, but like, why don't you do it for yourself? You know what it is? It's society. Society gets us trained to believe that self-worship, self-promotion, self-idolization, self-deification is somehow wrong and taboo. And it's like, okay, and? And I love myself. I think I'm amazing. I think I'm a god. I think I'm a goddess. I think you're a god. And I think you're a goddess. So why don't we just give our power back to ourselves, guys? I think we should do that. So that's why I love Lucifer. Because what better way to honor self than to say, I don't give a fuck if you like it or not. I'm going to love the underdog. Yeah? Yeah, that's right. Anyway, I love you guys. I'll talk to you later.